The Roman poet Martial was born in Bilbilis, in Hispania Tarraconensis, one of the 3 Roman provinces in Hispania. He came to Rome in his late 20s, possibly not before 64 CE, because he makes no reference to the burning of Rome that occurred that year in his writings. Martial found great support from the Spanish family of Seneca, especially Seneca the Younger, who was at the height of his career. Seneca the Younger may have been his first patron. Through the Senecas, Martial also met Lucan, the epic poet, and Gaius Calpurnius Piso, chief conspirator of the Pisonian conspiracy in 65 CE. As a result of this unsuccessful plot to kill the Emperor Nero and their deaths, Martial had to look for other patrons to support his writings. Presumably, the Senecas had introduced Martial to other prominent families to find his fortune under patronage. Not much is known about his life for the first 20 or so years, after Martial arrived in Rome. He steps into the spotlight in 80 CE with Liber Spectacularum, or On the Spectacles. This is Martial's first book, and contains 33 epigrams celebrating the opening of the new Flavian amphitheater, the Colosseum, which is in Rome, and was begun by Vespasian and completed by Titus in 79 CE. The opening of the Colosseum was a spectacular event that mesmerized the Roman people for 100 days. Martial describes the festiveness and highlights the occasion, such as a fight between a rhinoceros and a bull, or a fight between professional gladiators. All his descriptions also include lavish praise for the Emperor Titus, which led Martial to receive favor from this new emperor. In the year 84 or 85 CE, Martial published 2 books, with the Greek titles Xenia and Apophareta, which are counted as books 13 and 14 in his collection. These 2 books consist of couplets, or 2-line poems intended to accompany gifts hosts gave to their guests at the Roman Saturnalia, or the day to honor the god Saturn, held in December. Xenia means gifts, and Apophareta means favors carried away from. Martial gradually earned greater recognition from the emperors Titus and later Domitian, especially with his flattering voice of them. He obtained various privileges, such as military tribune and equestrian status. In fact, he received the Jus Trim Laborum from the emperors, which was customarily given to fathers of 3 children in Rome. Historians are almost certain that Martial had no children. Martial also made influential friends and patrons such as the future Emperor Nerva, and writers such as Stilius Italicus, Pliny the Younger, Quintilian, and Juvenal. In the next 15 years or so, his 12th books of epigrams appears, or Epigrammatum Libera 12. In 86 CE, books 1 and 2 of the epigrams were published. In 87 to 98 CE, Martial was annoyed by city life, and perhaps because of the assassination of Domitian, he left Rome to stay at Forum Cornelii and other cities in Aemilia. New books of the epigrams were published in Spain. Then, Martial returned back to Rome. He left Rome again in 98 CE, and, with the financial help from Pliny, returned to Bilbilis, where he was born. His last book, number 12, will be published there probably in 101 CE. Unfortunately, he died sometime between in 101 and 104 CE in his early 60s. Martial is often referred to as the creator of the modern epigram. Epigrams originated in ancient Greece and was a short inscription on a statue, coin, building, or tomb. Martial's epigrams include a vivid description of everyday life in Rome, such as emperors, writers, lawyers, teachers, doctors, gladiators, slaves, lovers, public officials, and undertakers. Some examples include terrible poets reciting terrible verses, or charioteers fixing races. His poems range from obscene to more tender. According to Britannica, 1/10 of Martial's epigrams are dirty. Martial's primary influences were Catullus and Horace, two 1st century BC poets. Catullus, for instance, wrote love epigrams and epigrams about his friends, similar to Martial. Horace's themes of enjoying the joys of life, such as drinking, eating, and talking with friends, is also evident in Martial's work. Some examples of Martial's epigrams include Lasciva est nobis pagina, vita proba. My poems are naughty, but my life is pure. Another is Non est crede mihi, sapintes dicere vivam, serenimis vita est crasina, vive hodie. Or, believe me, wise men don't say, I shall live to do that. Tomorrow's life is too late. Live today. My favorite is Ride si sapis, laugh if you are wise. Another is Semper eris pauper, si pauper es, I milline, danter opus nulli nunc, nisi divitibus. If you are poor, poor you will always be, for wealth's now given to none but to the rich. Another, si post fata vinet gloria non probero, or if glory comes after death, I hurry not. And last but not least, vita non est vivere, sed valere vita est. Life is not living, but living in health. Thank you.